So welcome back to the social class for class 8. In the previous class we already found that in the ruling the countryside, especially emphasized after the start of right system, Mahal system and permanent settlement. And here the second session we already found the increasing demands of indigo in Europe, especially for the mass productions of cloth and some other purposes also there. So in this third sessions we will study on how the indigo cultivated, the problem with the niche cultivations, the indigo on the land of Riot and the Blue Rebellions and after. So as per that we already found that the indigos are high demand in Europe, especially due to the industrializations. And the most of the indigo which they are brought from the Indias are very high demand with compared to the other country. And now the East India companies are emphasizing the Indian farmers to cultivate the indigo, and which are very tough and problem for the Indian people. Because after the cultivations of indigo, the other crops are not grow on that land. And if the crops are not grow, so it will hamper for their family member itself. So there's some reasons there. So there we will study in the last topic, it's on the Blue Rebellions. People have studied rebellions against their East India Company, and especially which they are appointed as the Gamustas and their government. So the first topic, that is the how was the indigo cultivated. So as I already explained that the indigos once cultivated on the land, and that particular land after 2-3 years of planting of indigo, it's difficult to grow for the other crops. So there we found how was indigo cultivated. There we found the two systems, that is niche and Riot. So niche and Riot, in these two systems we already found that the niche system are like they are taking the land in the forms of loan, or either they are making it for the fixed period. So that's known as the niche. And that niche, either they are taking the land from the Jamindar for 10 years or 15 years, because they already know that the cultivations of indigo bring a more profit for the East India Company. And some lands which they kept it for the cultivations of crop, and mostly they are cultivated the indigo, because there they found that the East India Company also paying them a huge money. But they paying them a huge money. If all the lands are cultivated only on indigo, you get more money, but you are able to get the food. So that's one more major problems there. So the next one is the Riot, where the place peoples are collectively working on that land for the plantations. As I already said, that on the niche, like they are making the agreement for 10 years, 15 years. Either they are taking a rented from the Jamindar for cultivations of the indigo plantations. So that's we found how was the indigo cultivated in India, especially refers to the 2 points, that is on the niche and the Riot. The second point, the problem with the niche cultivations. Now, what are the problems to grow with the niche cultivation, especially for the niche cultivation indigo plantations? Because with like other crops, we already found either if you cultivated rice, if you cultivated wheat, or whatever you are cultivated there, but you have to look after them very properly. But with case of the indigo, they have to keep it very extra care. Like when they are ripe, how much it takes time, how much waters are requiring there to destructions of the other animals. So they have to keep a very vigilance. So which make for the farmers more difficult to constantly checking on them, more effort, more hard working. So which create a major problem for the cultivators of the indigo especially. So that's the problem with the niche cultivators. And beside that, like which they are taking a loan from the money lenders, which they take in the forms of lease from the Jamindar, but they are unable to pay back their money due to the failures of indigo or crops. Then year after year, the cycle of loans are increasing. The year after year, their loans, which they take money from the money lenders, the interests are increasing. And another side, due to the failures of crops, or either due to the natural calamities, the destructions of crops. So it's make a problem for the farmers, because when they are taking the loan from the money lenders, or either take a land in the forms of lease from the Jamindar, they have to pay money. So they, after cultivation only they can pay money, when they will get money. But when the crops are failure there, so they are automatically unable to continue, unable to be pay back the loan. So which create a major problem, especially regarding on the cycle of loan, increasing more and more burdens are putting and pressures are putting mostly on the farmer sectors. So third point is on the indigo on the lands of the riot. In here we found that the satta system. Satta means agreement. In here we found that on the indigos on the lands of the riot, which their collectively village peoples are working there, but they have a particular agreement. Either that land they have to work together for 10 years, 15 years, or either they are taking a land from the zamindar. So the same conditions as like in the niche system. Due to the failures of crops, due to the natural calamities, sometimes how much they are put effort and how much their hard workings are not get back. And that's create a major problem for the farmers. One side they have to look after their family members, the other side they have to pay back the money to landlords as well as from where they took the land from the zamindar. So that's create a major problem there. So slowly and gradually we found that when the another side the populations are rising there, and the next side due to the failures of crops, failures of due to the natural calamities, they found a most worst. They found a major problem among the farmers. Though the East India Company pay them a huge amounts of money for the plantings of indigo, and for the feeding of their family members, then they need another food also. And mostly people now working on the indigo only, because in the East India Company they already know that in indigo profits are more there if they are brought and they are exported to the Europe. So the last topic for today is the Blue Rebellions and after. So Blue Rebellions are started in March 1989, especially after the revolt of 1857 in Bengal provincials. Due to the taking a loan from the money lenders and which they take a lease from the zamindar, so their burdens are increasing more and more there. But whereas in the forms of the agreement like Railway system, Mahalwari systems and permanent settlement, anyhow they have to pay a tax. So one side they have to pay a tax, another side they have to give money to the landowners as well as pay back to the money from the money lenders, landlords or money lenders. So everywhere in every corners they found a problem, which due to that cause the farmers are not happy on the cultivations of the crops like the indigo. Some farmers are took a loan from the money lenders. Due to the failures of crop, they are unable to give back. And another side, they are not get put also there due to the failures of crops. So that's make a major problem among the farmers, and farmers are started to be gathering and started the rebellions on the blue rebellions, which are known as, and especially due to the gamustas. The gamustas means the agent appointed by the East India Company. And that gamustas are appointed by the East India Company from the Indian people, the people who know the language of the native of their village. And that particular persons are go to the village and they are giving the loan and they are collecting the revenue and they are giving it back to the East India Company, that means Britishers. So there we found that the gamustas are misusing more money. They go to village, they are giving the advance. This year you cultivate the indigo, 2 acres of land, 3 acres of land, and after the failures of crop, they will come and collect the money. And when the crops are wrapped and when its harvesting times are there, then again the gamustas come and they are collecting the crops and pay them the extra money. So this system was, this is known as the gamustas. The gamustas means the agent who are linking between the farmers and the East India Company. Before the cultivations, they come to the village and give the money as a loan for cultivations, and after the cultivations, they are collecting that raw materials. So gamustas are misusing more their money. And due to that cause, it was majorly affected to the Indian people, and some of the village, the rebels are started with the gamustas because they are forcefully collecting. If they have no cultivation also, due to the failure of crop also, they are forcefully cultivated. They are took like their domesticated animal also, their cloth, their utensil. So which make a major problem for the farmers when the years are increasing, when the years are goes on. So due to that cause, the blue rebellions are started there in March 1859, especially in Bengal, and later it was spread there. And there is exactly reasons there, like in the 1917, the indigo plantation rebellions are started in the Bengals, especially in the Bihar, where Mahatma Gandhi actively took participate on that, and later sections which they are declaring them as non-cooperation movements. So for today, that much only here, and I completed all the topic of this chapter 3. And once you study by yourself, and if you have any problems on any past difficulties, then directly you can ask me. And after this chapter, we'll go on continuously one by one from the history sections, and then later on we'll move on to the political science, that is civics, and geography also there. So if you have any doubt, once again, and you can directly contact me. So for today, that much. Thank you.